So you're thinking of buying a house in Buda, but you're not sure where to start. Well, in today's video, we're exploring Brightland Homes in Sunfield, a massive new construction community. We're gonna explore 2 homes plus their model home, talk about their current incentives, and I'm just gonna give you my honest feedback on the pros and cons of what I'm seeing in their floor plans. We're gonna get after it right now. Hey, Daniel here, your local Austin area real estate expert. If you're thinking of making a move to the greater Austin area, be sure to subscribe to the channel so you can stay up to date on the latest real estate news. I typically upload twice a week on this channel, every Tuesday and Thursday, and I cover a wide variety of topics. I cover a wide variety of builders, new construction, resale, different areas, San Marcos, all the way up to Georgetown. So regardless of where you're looking, if it's in the greater Austin area, doesn't matter the budget, I promise there's gonna be videos in here that help you in your search. You know, I was a teacher for 10 years before I jumped into real estate, and I found that a lot of the skill set I had from teaching transferred over very well into real estate. Honesty, effective communication, having a good work ethic, and really just helping other people achieve their goals is still really important to me. So it doesn't matter if you're looking to move in 9 days or 90 days. You can give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, or schedule a Zoom call. Would love to help you all find a great home in whatever community fits for you. All of that can be found in the description below. So now let's look at Sunfield, bigger perspective. Tax rate here is 2.63%, not too bad for a new construction, and the HOA is $800 a year. That comes out to about $60, $65 a month, which is pretty good when you see the amount of amenities they have here. Talking about amenities, they have lakes throughout. You can see that throughout the entire map here. They do have catch and release also, which I thought was really neat. You can go fishing at these lakes if you're a resident. The red lines throughout the map you can see are trails. So they have 16 plus miles of paved trails, hike and bike trails. So if you're the type of person who likes to exercise outside, that's really nice to have that in your own community. And now looking at the north side of the map, we can see we have a Kiddie Academy daycare, so a daycare close by. Just south of that is Sunfield Elementary School. That feeds into McCormick Middle School and Johnson High School, Mo and Jean Johnson. It's a brand new high school. Well, it was new when I taught. It was probably 5 years ago or so when it first opened. Really nice facility on the west side of I-35. And then you have the Doral Academy Charter School if you do want to go the private route. On the far west side, you can see we have a fire station, a Baylor Scott and White hospital, and then what's not pictured on here is there's a children's hospital on the other side of that street too. So nice having those 2 hospitals right there. And then looking to the left of this map, we start with the first of 3 amenity centers. So this is the Sunbright Activity Center. It's the first amenity center that they put in with a couple pools there. Going over to the next one, dead center in the middle of the map, is the Lazy River Amenity Center, which looks amazing. Very jealous. I really wish my neighborhood had that. And then the final one that they actually just opened is the Lakeside Amenity Center. It's really high elevation, beautiful view overlooking the lake. Not in the summer when I'm recording now, but in the future, I'm sure it's gonna have a great view. Last thing I'll say here is you look at the bottom, you can see the different home sites available. So 40 foot, 45 foot, 50 foot, 60 foot. And then David Weekley does a 65 by 85. Where they're building is further south. So anything really far south near that lake and then southeast, that's where the new home construction is gonna be. So if you do the to be built route, that's where you're gonna be looking for that. Last thing I'll say about the home sites, 60-foot home sites, yes, they are wider than a 40-foot home site, but that doesn't always mean it's bigger. You can find a corner lot, you can find an interesting wedge shape. I mean, if you're just kind of looking at this map for more than a couple seconds, you can see it's not all just a bunch of rectangles, right? So something to be aware of if you really want a big backyard, but your budget doesn't allow you to get a home on a 60-foot home site, I can definitely help you find something that fits your budget and is a big yard on a 40-foot home site. So now let's talk about Brightland Homes specifically. And first, let me tell you about the model home that you're gonna be looking at as I'm talking. So this is their Rosewood model home, the Rosewood floor plan. It's a 4-bed, 2.5 bath, 3,064 square foot home. And they actually have one available right now at $525,000. Now the home you're seeing, it has all the upgrades, and so I'm sure with all those upgrades, that's gonna be closer to $650,000. But just be aware, if this is looking really good to you, I'm a big fan of this model home. personally, then the price range you're looking at is around $525 to $650. Now, talking about everything else Brightland has here, they have 11 floor plans available. They build on 50 and 60-foot lots, which are pretty big lots, and their homes are about 4 months to be built. So if you want to go the to-be-built route, it's going to take about 4 months to build that house, which is pretty quick. I was really surprised to hear that. And the sales rep said that's not just Brightland, that's just Sunfield in general. It takes about 4 months to be built. There's just less red tape building out here, so the builders can move quickly between the phases. They have about 4 to 5 more years of building out here, so depending on when you're watching this video, 4 to 5 more years of building out in Sunfield. And let's talk about their incentives, because I was pretty impressed with what Brightland incentives are. So they are offering a couple things. You have options. You can get 5% of the sales price flex cash, meaning you get a home for $500,000, then 5% of that is what, $25,000? You can use that for whatever you want. You can use it to pay closing costs, which probably be around 10 grand. You can use it to buy the price of the house down, or buy the rate down. Now the rate buy down is actually the best one I've seen in a while. So they're doing what's called a 3-2-1 buy down, which means the first year you're going to have a rate of 2.99%, which is amazing. Then the second year will go up to 3.99. Then the third year will go up to 4.99. Okay, and then I believe it ends at 4.99. It might end 5.99. Regardless, right now the top tier conventional rate for a 30-year loan is 6.57, and that's actually the lowest it's been in almost a year. So getting anything under 6 is great. Getting something at 2.99, at least for a year, and then 3.99, and even 4.99, all of those are fantastic. So something to look at if you're really concerned about interest rates. They have great buy down options. They also can do a fixed FHA loan for 4.75%, which again is very, very, very different from going a conventional lender. It's going to save you hundreds on your monthly payment. So definitely something to check out if you are mainly concerned about getting your interest payments as low as possible. But cool, that's it for Brightland Homes. We're going to check out a couple of their homes, so I'll see you at the first one. So the first Brightland home we're checking out is their Laurel floor plan. This is a 4-bed, 2-bath, 1-story home, 2,020 square feet, and it's listed at $425,000. This is currently their lowest priced home that they're currently offering. Pan around so you can see where we're at. It's definitely a more finished part of the neighborhood, so you really get a good sense of what the homes are going to look like around you. Mostly brick exteriors here. Actually all brick exteriors if I'm looking around. But we have some stone here in the front, which is nice, that archway, and then that white brick cross. Really cool light fixtures here with that kind of frosted glass and the black. And then these really wide baseboards going over the top there. It's a good look, it's a good clean look, that stone to brick. Looking at the front patio, not a ton of space. You could put a couple chairs out here, right? You have some garden area here, and then they've planted a couple small trees that'll grow to give you a little bit more privacy. It's okay, it's not the biggest. Driveway's really big though. You're looking at that, very comfortably you can fit 4 cars. Well, with the walkway there, probably just 2 cars to make people in your neighborhood not dislike you. Very tall doors, so we have 8-foot doors in this home. I think the big selling point for this house, I just walked around and turned all the lights on, is 1-story and super tall ceilings, okay? There's a couple things I don't like about it, which I'll tell you when I see them. So we have LVP flooring, that looks fantastic. This wide plank looks great. To the right is our office space. So study does come with a fan, which I was surprised to see. I like that we have the 3 windows up here. I wish there was a second window right here. Just thinking about how this room is set up, I would probably put my desk in that corner just to open up as much room as possible, but then you're just facing a wall, right? So they kind of force you to, if you want the natural light, to sit here, but then you're right next to the door. That's not a big deal, but these are the things you think about when you're imagining yourself living in a place. But it's a good size. I really like the tall ceilings. And then to the left here is the garage. So if you're parking in the garage, you're gonna more often come in through here. It's a decent sized garage. You can see from the wall to the door, it's about a foot on either side. See, we have the irrigation system, obviously the garage door opener. They use a tank, water tank, not a tankless. So tankless typically is gonna save you on your water bill. But regardless, you have your tank in here, not having to go up the attic at least to get to it. You have a little nook right here, and then all of this walkway to where you can add shelving. They have some outlets here. I don't see any EV charger outlets in here though. I'm sure that's an upgrade if that's important to you, if you go their 2V belt route. And then opening up to our kitchen. Kitchen's very nice. So built-in oven, built-in microwave, we have a little extra pan storage down there. We can definitely negotiate to get a fridge included. And we have a corner pantry. Pretty good amount of space here in the corner pantry. Really like this backsplash they went with. Really nice range. This 36-inch wide 5-burner range built in, so you have extra storage space down here. They're not soft close, so that's kind of a bummer. And also they picked the exact same handle size for everything. So you have this massive drawer, but teeny tiny handle for it. I do like the built-in range and the hood there though, looks great. And it's also nice just to not have white cabinets. This interesting gray gives it a little bit different feel here, which is, it's just nice to have something different there, personal opinion. Large single basin stainless steel sink, looking out to the living room. Also interesting style with, we don't really have a true island, so curved out a little bit, give you a little bit more room and space to put stools there. And then pull out trash right here. I would argue maybe putting a small island here would probably be for the best. It wouldn't feel too cluttered. And I'm thinking if you're cooking here, you really only have these 2 spots either side and then these 2 spots either side of the sink, and that's it. So not a ton of countertop space in reality when you're cooking, but a lot of open space here. We have a coat closet right here. And then let's go left. So we have our utility room, really good sized utility room. I like that we have the built-in shelves there too. Left of here is just a single sink, a guest bathroom. This guest bathroom is kind of boring to me. It's a decent size. I like that we have the built-in shelving for like linen closet, but the tile on the floor is the exact same on the wall, doesn't go to the ceiling. The toilet's just out, typically. Toilet's pushed a little further away from the shower. So it's okay. I wish there were 2 sinks. And then we have our 2 guest rooms off of it. Both pretty small. And in true new build fashion, there's no fan included. Not a big deal. Carpeted. There's the second one. It's the same size. Same layout, pretty small. I mean, if you don't put a queen in here. If you put a full size bed, you'd be fine. Queen size, you're gonna be pushing it. King size is just a fool's errand. Don't do that. All right, then we're into the living/dining. So you can see where you can put stools there. It's a nice countertop. I didn't mention this, but it's really thick quartz material. That is a nice material there. But some space here to put some stools. And then this opens up to the primary living area with a ceiling fan. Okay amount of space of sunlight. I like they put that little window there to add in a little bit more. I wish we could have a little bit more. It's okay. It's definitely not a high-end like Perry home or Highland home where you're gonna have a ton of natural light coming in. Back patio, so square back patio. Really like this roof, it just goes up and up and up. Really tall roof. You do have a gas out, which is nice. You can attach your grill to that, and then electrical outlet, and then your hose bib is right there. Decent amount of space for the backyard for this specific lot. Obviously, this has nothing to do with the floor plan of Laurel. You can get a Laurel floor plan if you really like this floor plan, but just get a different lot with a bigger backyard. I'm not a huge fan of this lot placement because your back neighbors are elevated, and so you can see clearly their back patios and they can clearly see into your yard. So from a privacy viewpoint, this is not ideal. And then they do grass on the side, so you don't get pebbles or rocks or anything like that. I prefer pebbles, rocks on the side, just because I'm never really gonna go down there, so it makes it easier. to maintain. Do like the door is glass though. Again, just another way to let in some natural light. This is a little odd. So we have a bedroom right next to our primary. So just a typical bedroom, but it's right next to our primary bed, which I don't know if I've seen that before. Very rare. So I'm not sure who that's for, because unless they're using your bathroom, they're gonna have to walk to the side of the house to get to the guest bathroom. So a little odd. Maybe if you have a very small child and you want them having their own space, but close to you, it could work in that regard, right? But anyone older who's using their own bathroom, it kind of doesn't make sense. Maybe you'd use it as a second study, potentially. But yeah, kind of an odd layout when I noticed that one. Tall ceilings continue into the primary. Surprised they didn't put a ceiling fan in here. They put it in the study and the living room, but not in the primary, which is a little odd. I'm sure we can negotiate to get that included. Decent amount of natural light. I like when they add these small windows here. Really nice bathroom. I do like this layout. So we have the two sinks, walk-in shower, decent amount of space. I do wish the subway tile went to the ceiling, but whatever. And then I like that they have the tub and it's kind of tucked away. So a lot of builders will put the tub like dead center, and you have to walk around the tub to get to the shower or to get to your closet. This one they put just in the corner, really out of the way. And it's a pretty good size. I mean, it's really deep. I do like that we have the natural light coming in. I put some sort of film over that to maintain some privacy. And then toilet tucked away back here. Linen closet. And then closet is tall. It's a tall boy. I don't know what you're gonna do up there. You're gonna need a very tall step ladder. Maybe this is where you hang your winter clothes in the summer and vice versa. I'm not sure. It just made me laugh when I saw that walking in. But it's a good amount of space. Definitely for a closet. So cool, there you have it. That's the Laurel floor plan. Like I said, this is our lowest price at $425,000. We're gonna go actually to the next level up in price, and that'll be our final tour. So I'll see you over there. Okay, change of plans. So I couldn't get access to the house that was next up in the price, so we actually found the largest home and the most expensive, but I thought it'd be fun to show this one, to really just show the range of what Brightland has. So this is their Elm floor plan. It's a 4-bed, 3-bath, 3,504 square foot home, and this one's listed at $550,000. Pan around so you can kind of see where we're at. Definitely a new construction street. Lots of activity happening on the street. Let's check it out. I really like the stone. Really cool stone exterior. Still keeping that brick right above the garage there. Still a 2-car garage. It's dark wood with the shutters. Pretty similar to the last home. A little bit more space with this front patio. But very similar, right? You have the garden here with the 2 trees there. Not a ton of space in the front. This is a 2-story. And as you can see, it is still in the building process, so you're not gonna be able to see quite everything, but you're gonna get a good idea of the floor plan. And I'll still talk about kind of the pros and cons I'm seeing with this one. But if you're looking in the 500,000 range, maybe the model home and this home, these are the 2 that are in the 3,000 square foot area. Okay? This is 500 more square feet than the model. So opens up, you can see up there to the 2nd floor. It looks like we have LVP flooring also under here. Is a really dark LVP flooring. And then guest bedroom number 1. Decent sized bedroom, really nice closet for a guest bedroom. I like the built-in shelves. And so this doesn't come with a study, but this would be great for a study. And you have those 2 windows right there overlooking that front patio. And then we have a guest bathroom right here. Nothing too exciting, right? Just the 1 sink, builder grade materials with the tile. Doesn't go floor to ceiling, anything like that. And then we have this really cool storage area underneath the stairs. Ton of storage. I like the amount of light they put in here too. And then we have stairs. I'm gonna back up in a second. Dining area, way more natural light than we saw in the previous home, like immediately, windows everywhere. And then kitchen, but we're gonna get there through here. So through here we have our mudroom area, already built in, and then our 2-car garage. This one definitely a little bit more space, about a 1.5 feet more from the wall to the garage door. And they went with a tankless, which surprised me. So I'm not sure why the other one had a full water tank. Most builders are going towards the tankless. So I'd be curious to ask them, is this just the norm moving forward? Maybe this is, this is obviously a later build. Maybe they just made that change, I'm not sure. But pretty similar in size to the previous home's garage. And then we have our utility room right here. Very similar to what we saw previously with the built-in shelves. A good amount of space in this one. But I like that this floor plan, just like the model home, leads into the primary closet. So it makes doing laundry way easier. You can grab it straight from the dryer and put it up in here. Good amount of space in here, not stupid tall ceilings where you can't reach anything. And then we're in the primary bathroom. So toilet off here to the side. And we have larger walk-in shower, no bench. And then the tile is not as exciting yet, but if the tile and all of that is something that's really important to you, maybe you see yourself moving into this house and staying here for the next 15 years and you just want more interesting or want some input to the tile, go the to-be-built route. That's what I've done for my current house and the first house my wife and I bought. We did the to-be-built. It's not any more expensive and you get to pick what you want for materials. I know for here 4 months, right? I said that at the beginning of the video. So if you have that in your timeline, I would advise go the to-be-built route so you can pick exactly what you want for not that much more. If you're very much price driven and you just want the lowest price possible, then get an inventory home. That's where you're gonna get the most incentives. But whatever your priorities are. Very large countertop space here, separated sinks. I'm not a big fan of this tub. It's a pretty small tub. I think the last house tub was actually bigger, but I like natural light coming in still. And then just a linen closet over here. Very large primary bedroom. Very large. So we have the 2 windows, assuming that would be either side of the bed coming out here. 3 windows outlooking the back patio, or back porch I should say. Backyard, there we go, words. And then we come out to this very tall ceiling for our primary living area. Ton of natural light coming in here, it looks great. Look at that sky. This looks fantastic. It's a good day to record. And we have a built-in, this is very, very, very similar to the previous house, just more countertop space. So built-in oven, built-in microwave. No handles, they may be putting that in later though, so I'm not sure because the house isn't completely finished. The exact same 5-burner range we saw in the previous one, built in. I'm assuming, yeah. If one's not soft close, probably none of them are soft close. And then we have our corner pantry. Oh, I lied, a little bit longer corner pantry. So that is a little bit different. Nice quartz countertop, single basin sink. All of it's pretty much the same. It's just nice that we have a more traditional large island here. So unlike the previous home, there's just more space to work with. And then let's go out here. Back patio, not super different. It's a little bit bigger than the previous one, right, as far as the slab. But you have the gas out here still, you have the electrical outlet there. And then you can see yard space, right? We're kind of going up in elevation, so you have that little brick right there for the next lot to start, a little bit higher. And then you will have a rear neighbor. They just haven't built out this road, but you can kind of see how it goes up in elevation. So it's different tiers down here. I definitely would, well, I would look at upgrading the back patio and extending it. You saw in the model home, there was a massive back patio, so they can do that on the structural level building the house. It's probably cheaper, more cost effective to do it after the fact. Get a house like this, and then just hire a contractor to extend this back patio out and out that way. I think that would make more sense, just to have a little bit more seating area, just varied areas, so you're not just here on the side of the house kind of looking out, because a house is going to be here, right? So there's going to be a wall, not the best view. Decent amount of space though for this floor plan. All right, let's check out upstairs. Upstairs surprised me. So let's see, this might be the selling point for you. I was shocked at how much, I actually got lost when I was upstairs. Shocked at how much space there is. Okay, so we're upstairs. Here's the first landing. Fan already built in. Ton of space up here. This is overlooking the entrance. You get a sense, there's a ton of space. I'm not sure how you want to use this. You know, maybe it's a second lounge area. It's a nice long and wide. If you play pool, you actually have quite a bit of room here. You could put a pool table and it wouldn't be in the way of anything. And you'd have enough space to actually play pool. And then you have this secondary landing area right above the stairs. Again, not sure how you'd want to utilize this space. Kind of possibilities are endless with that. Linen closet. Then we go to our second landing area. And this one's overlooking the living room. All right. Over here is a media room. All carpeted upstairs. It looks like they do have the cutout outlets for media system. So if you did want to put a surround sound system in, that's already been, maybe not pre-wired, but already been thought about. And then next guest bedroom. Remember we had one guest bedroom downstairs, so here's the third bedroom we've seen today. Really good sized closet space for a guest bedroom. Pretty good amount of space in general for a guest bedroom. And then somewhat of a Jack and Jill type bathroom, but it's pretty wide. My main gripe with Jack and Jill bathrooms is they're usually really tight. This one is a good amount of space as you're walking through. There's a second sink, and then another linen closet. This leads out to that second landing, and then we get to the final bedroom, which is huge. This is over the primary bedroom, really big for a guest bedroom. And again, all of the guests have pretty good closet spaces. So yeah, this upstairs is massive. So there you have it. That's, what was this, the Elm, I believe is what it was called. They have 11 floor plans. They have floor plans ranging from, you know, low 400,000s up to the mid 500,000s. If you want to go crazy with the upgrades and get the model home, then you're looking at mid to high 600,000s. So that's kind of the price range if you're looking at Brightland. My final thoughts with touring these couple homes, I think the build quality is pretty nice. I think the exterior looks really good with the stone and brick. I wish the garage had a little bit more space and that they had a 3-car option. It's kind of a bummer at this price range. You're not looking at potential 3-car options. I'm not sure if you can do that in the upgrades, so you might be able to if you did the to-be-built route. I really like they have very different floor plans depending on your needs. So 2,000 square feet is probably what me and my wife would be looking at. 3,500 square feet like this one, maybe if you have a large family or you have a lot of gatherings, this works perfectly for you. But Brightland definitely has different options that are gonna work well for you. It's just looking at the upgrades, structural and interior, and if those make sense for you. So I like the amount of space, tall ceilings. For me, a lot of it's just lot placement. So I love to, you know, if you are seeing this thinking, okay, Brightland's definitely a contender, I want to look more into Sunfield, reach out to me, and the first thing we can do is find a lot map and just see what lots are available, right? But that 4-month, 5-month window is definitely when you want to start looking if you do the to-be-built route, so that you can get the lot with the no rear neighbor or the big backyard, or, you know, exactly how you want it to be, and then build the exact house you wanted that. But as I end every video, doesn't matter if you're looking to move in 9 days or 90 days, you can give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, or schedule a Zoom call. Love to help you and your family find a great deal and a great home in Sunfield, whether it's Sunfield, Buda, Kyle, San Marcos, Austin. I cover the whole area. So reach out if I can help in any way. Until next time, hope to see you guys around town.